And welcome to Mad Al Goes Racing, and today we're back in Automobilista 2 having a look at the Beta 0.9.0 update that has dropped literally 15-20 minutes ago. So I haven't actually done a lot, so this is all a bit like edgy. Right, let's have a look at the changelog. New round of AI performance calibration in this build to balance performance versus player following recent modifications. As a result, you may find it necessary to adjust AI strength from what you were running before in certain series in order to get the same performance from the AI. The goal being for less adjustments needed from series to series. So basically the idea is they're trying to sort of twiddle things to get the AI, say 80, to be the same across. So when you're racing the AI 80 on one circuit in one series, it's hopefully pretty close to 80 rather than you having to keep going, right, I need to add 5, take away 10, add 5, whatever, which is quite annoying. Obviously the more series and the more circuits you have, the more difficult that task becomes. But right, the actual changelog, that was just a bit at the top there. Content. Added Kyalami Grand Prix Circuit, added Sigma P1 to P2 class. That in itself is quite confusing. It's called a Sigma P1 but it's in the P2 class, but we'll have a look at it in a minute. Added Passat to Copa Classic FL class. General, update app key used in Live Motion SDK. I'm assuming Live Motion SDK is for your motion platform if you happen to have one that supports it, so... Right, quite a big item. Netcode, reduced fade acceleration parameter to minimise chances of ghost car-to-car collisions in a multiplayer session. Well, if I'd have been about 10 minutes quicker, pulling my finger out and getting this fired up, they're actually doing some multiplayer testing right this minute, which hopefully goes well, and hopefully means that they can start thinking about things like dedicated server. Next up, UI and HUD. Fixed back button on time trial screen. I think... what's wrong with the back button? I can't remember now. There was something weird about it. Amended all brake bias labels to include front, rear, or F/R, qualifier, and all values to include front and rear. So you now know what the 60/40 means, because some people will say it's all a bit arse about face, which is fair enough. Fixed telemetry HUD screen anchors, affects ultra wide positioning. Yeah, there was some of the HUD gets a bit like it's too far over there somewhere if you're not careful, so that's all good. Fixed in-game menu anchors on various pages. Audio, camera controls and gameplay options screens. Save, load, setup, quick, full setup, edit screens, VR. So presumably that again is because things are in weird places on sort of ultra wides. Added track altitude information to loading screen. Always nice to know how high up you are, because obviously with the Magnus engine, the physics in that take altitude into account. So normally aspirated engines, more than turbos, do suffer from the higher up they get, the more breathless they get. So something like the V8 Generation 1 vintage F1 car is 465 brake horsepower or thereabouts when you're at sea level, and Kyalami, which is about 1,480 metres, give or take. Be interesting to see what it says. It'll drop down to about 10% per 1,000 metres roughly, so that's 380-ish, if my maths is about right, give or take. Obviously there may be some additional losses through other things, so the percentage of loss might increase. Just excusing my maths potentially there. Right, added current time of day to session overview pause screen, which is always nice to know what time it actually is in the game. Added Imola 1972 and modern track maps, obviously they were missing. Added stock car driver names. Updated missing tyre names for Caterham's, Formula Ultimate, Copa Classics. physics. Standardised ranges, adjusted to drag and lift increments per setting for cars with adjustable radiator and brake ducts. So I'm assuming that the effect is standardised. I might have to read that about 4 times and have a think about that one. Adjusted brake heating for all prototypes and GT cars. Don't know whether they were getting too hot. I seem to recall some of the cars were getting a tad warm, a tad quickly. Minor adjustments to Ultima Race stock V8 Formula Vintage tyre treads. I don't know whether they've improved the Formula Vintage a little bit. I thought it felt a little bit too edgy, but reduced roll inertia for stock V8 Super V8 Ultima Race Ultima. Yeah, they reduce the roll inertia. I mean, it'd take more effort to. It might take more, it might take less effort to make it. I'll have to think about that. Slightly reduced grip off the ideal racing line. That's always an interesting one. It means if you're go it wide, you'll suddenly find you going even more wide because you've suddenly run out of grip because the grip has decreased. So that's always nice to see. Reduced metal Moro IIyama diffuser efficiency. Presumably it's going to be slightly less downforce from that particular one. Adjusted stock V8 diffuser centre of pressure slightly rearwards. Again, that's one of those things you can make very minor adjustments, and it can actually, it's surprising how much of a change it can make in the way the car behaves. Moved default brake bias rearwards for sprint race stock V8 Ultima Race, which is fair enough. Some of those they're a bit too easy to lock the front end. AI, slightly increased AI awareness of human players. They see you now, so they hopefully won't turn in quite so often. And AI performance tuning for GT3, Stock V8, P1, P2, P3, P4, Ultima Race, Sprint Race, F3, Formula Vintage classes. So again, that's part of the getting the things so they're better matched across different classes. So your 80 setting will be the same across all of them. Tracks, Spielberg, fixed hole in garage floor. Yeah, you don't want to be stepping in there, suddenly fall through the bloody floor. Cool, there. Replaced incorrect pit building walls and pit doors, remapped garage and pit stall locations, removed excess grid assignments, 32 cars supported, rebuilt triggers. Shoot! Brands Hatch, fixed bug with cars appearing to float over the track. Yeah, there was a couple of cars where presumably they managed to get the track mesh slightly out from the visual mesh, so those cars just hovering. Always looks a bit strange. Sometimes it's down to the track mesh, other times it's down to you can put the size of the visual wheel and the physical wheel slightly different, so you get cars that either sink into the track a bit or they float above because you haven't quite matched the two. So you do have to match all this stuff up, otherwise it all looks a bit strange. Adjusted rolling start location, so presumably it won't let you go when you're halfway around a bend, which is really annoying. Revised track limits, fixed garage door collision. Vehicles, AJR, adjusted to driver animation. Added Imperio 175 and Motin Racing 46 liveries. MRX corrected RPM LEDs for all variants. Ultima Race adjusted collision mesh. Puma P052 new liveries, updates, redesigns for 01, 02, 04, 06, 07, 08, 10, 11, 12, 13, 19, 42, 53, 54, 69. That's the one that you don't mind if you're upside down because it's the same number. Added community skins 1791. So, let's go and have a look at Kyalami. See what it looks like, and we'll go and have a look at the Sigma P1 as well. So, time trial. Just a sudden thought, I have switched my wheel on, haven't I? Yep. Bit of resistance must be fine. Oh, waiting the time trial. Didn't make you do that. Bit to do test day. Brain failure. not working. Right. So the P1 was a P2, so it's that one. We'll have a quick showroom of that. That's a very nice looking car, actually. Hopefully they will be taking the suggestion that has been made once or twice of making it so you can actually control the camera in here, because it's all very nice having an automated thing that just wanders around the car, but it's much better if you could just, I want to control it myself. So, yeah, very pretty looking car. Right, select and track. Where are we going? Oh, Kyalami. Don't know why it says Circuit of Jerez Angel Nieto. Just there. Obviously that's not quite right. South Africa. Circuit 2.8 miles, 9 turns. And if we go down here and hit start, we've got altitude 5,026 feet. That's a lot of feet. That's ooh. I'll have to get a calculator out for that. Right, due to a slight cock up on my part, I had the wrong thing being recorded sound wise, so I'm going to have to go in and do the test data again. So don't panic if this all looks a bit disjointed, it's just me being an idiot. Right, hopefully it's recording the sound this time. So right, we've got the Sigma P1 and we are at Kyalami, and when we fire this up we should see altitude in the circuit thing on the right here, 5,026 feet. Bum, ba-dum, bum, bum. Just going to do 3 laps and hopefully there's some sound this time, and if there isn't, I must be swearing. Now I'm going to go into external view and then you'll get a good look around the circuit. I'll do 1 slow lap and then a couple of hopefully faster laps. I am still tinkering with my FFB, so if I think the FFB feels a little bit strange, it's because I'm still playing, and when I finish playing I will probably carry on playing a bit more. So what do I think so far? Well, so far all nicely modelled buildings, plenty of external things to see, lots and lots of cars and car parks, little tents, loads of people in tents over there. It's obviously a very intense place. Haha. I don't know if you can wander up there. I hadn't even noticed that there before. Again, loads of people about. Nice wall to crash into. I did that during the ACC league race. I don't know if that's an extra pit or something. Might be. As we come round here, we should, ahead of us, see where the track dips down in the middle and comes up on the other side there. Looks really nice. I can't say I've noticed it in any other version, especially in ACC, which I've done a few laps in now. But of course I wouldn't normally be driving like this, so I'm higher up and got a better view, which is why I did it, so that you get a better view. But I have to say, it's looking really, really nice. Plenty of lumps and bumps in the track as well. Really nice to look at, and of course I should have got rid of all this crap so it's out of your way as well. Lots and lots of things over the far side there. It's got a really nice vista as you look across there. Not to be confused with the horrible thing that was Vista when it comes to windows. I'm not sure what that is on the top right there. It's like a castle or something. So, loads of nice details. Let's see if we can make it around this corner without making a complete cock up of it. And then nice view down to the city, township, whatever it is down there. I can't remember exactly where Kyalami Circuit is. And I'm not sure whether Kyalami is the name of just the circuit or whether it's the name of the town it's next to or what. Like to say, it's all looking really, really nice. Loads of runoff there for when you make a bit of a cock up coming down the hill. Try not to do that. Again, nice grandstands here. Now, in some ways this is one of the two nasty corners on the course, the other one being this one, and there is a little sausage curve on the inside here. I'm not sure how big it is on this, but you hit that in ACC and you are off the kick later. Basically it spits you off. I will try running it on this and see how bad it is, if I can persuade myself to actually run over the curb. I don't think the internal Motec display is working on this. Brakes feel like they're a little bit forward biased. And that could do with a turbo whistle being turned down a bit. That's a little bit intrusive, especially for old gits like me with tinnitus. That really does do my head in. I'm not sure if it's just me or whether that it's a little bit on-off when you're just touching the throttle. It sounds a little bit like this, almost too much on-off sound when you're on or off the throttle very gently. Might just be me being a bit picky. Hump the curb. No, I think I missed. You probably don't want to run that curve too much anyway, because it's quite tall, but it's quite smooth. So it doesn't throw you off too badly. Just flicks the side of the car a little bit. We'll do one more lap and. Really nice turning, feels nicely balanced. You can feel when you're going in to understeer quite nicely. Just there. That's, considering I've done very little to my FFP since it's been changed. Might be a little bit too much understeer fade actually. That might just be down to caster setting on the car or something, you never know. Or I might need to make a few adjustments to my FFP. I'd say all in all, the circuit's very nice, the car feels great. And I haven't made a complete plunker of myself driving around it, which is nice. Now, yeah, that's definitely not as dangerous as ACC. think that'll do, because like I said, I did cock this up and somehow managed to record it without any sound, so we will just do a replay of those couple of laps and have a look what it looks like from the outside, and hopefully you can hear it as well. I see a little green thing going up and down in my meter on my little thing in the corner that tells me that I'm recording something I didn't notice earlier, so I'll have to do some editing, namely with my editing abilities. Just looks like I locked the front wheel there, just slightly. And so I could do maybe either the brake bias or maybe the brake pressure reducing a bit, so bias back a bit or pressure down a bit. It's a really nice looking car. And I might even be doing it some justice for my driving, you never know. I don't know if that's a good lap or not, but one of those lovely down on the curb camera angles there. Oh yeah, that's got a bit of air under there. At least I hit the yellow bit this time, but I can see that'll make a very enjoyable car to be racing around in a group. Be interesting to see how it compares with the other P2 cars as well. So, right, for now, from me, I think that'll do, and hopefully I can get this out before the RWB Mini League, although I think I'm going to be pushing it a bit. So, from me, for now, enjoy your racing, stay safe, and I'll see you soon. Goodbye.